EPA regulations are wreaking havoc on coal-fired power plants all across the country. Are those regulations impacting the Jasper Clean Energy Project? We'll tell you more. Plus, the Indiana State Police Jasper Post has promoted a trooper, what capacity he'll be serving in, and Deborah Steinkamp and Natalie Bolin are our guests this evening on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with a local business leader who will serve on a prestigious state transportation committee. Yesterday, Indiana Governor Mike Pence announced that Hank Menke, the CEO of Huntingburg-based OFS Brands, is one of 24 leaders in the transportation industry to be named to the Blue Ribbon Panel on Transportation Infrastructure. Business as well as state and local leaders, such as Evansville Mayor Lloyd Winnecke, are on the panel. Menke serves as president of the I-67 Development Corporation, a group that was formed to develop a 38-mile interstate-grade highway which would connect DuBois County with I-69 at Washington. The group, which also consists of local city officials, is pushing to get the project completed within the next 8 years. The Blue Ribbon Panel on Transportation Infrastructure is set to identify and assemble a list of transportation projects for the future that should be given high priority as the state moves forward. Menke says his naming to the panel helps to move the I-67 project one step closer to reality. Menke, along with the I-67 Development Corporation, have been discussing the project with officials across southern Indiana and throughout Kentucky, specifically pointing out benefits of the new interstate, which would also stretch southward to Bowling Green, Kentucky. The objective of this is to relieve some of the excessive pressure on Interstate 65 by giving north-south traffic another route to reach their destination. The panel is set to meet for the first time next Friday, according to Menke. He says the prospects for I-67 look good since Indiana Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann, a big supporter of the project, is on the panel. An area state police post has announced the promotion of one of its own. The Indiana State Police Jasper Post has announced the promotion of Trooper Philip Hensley to the rank of Sergeant. Hensley will serve as the Public Information Officer for the Jasper Post. Hensley will issue news releases along with responding to media inquiries and conducting informational programs for the public. Hensley replaces Chad Dick, who was transferred into a squad sergeant position back in August. Hensley, who is a Jasper native, is a 1999 graduate of Jasper High School and earned his degree in electrical engineering from the University of Evansville. He began his law enforcement career in 2004 when he graduated from the Indiana State Police Recruit Academy. At that time, he was assigned to the Jasper Post, and he has spent the majority of his career patrolling through DuBois County. He also serves in specialty areas of the state police, including District Honor Guard Team Leader, Tactical Intervention Platoon Member, Field Training Officer, Emergency Vehicle Operations Instructor, and Crash Reconstructionist. Hensley and his wife Rebecca currently reside in Spencer County with their children. The Jasper Post serves DuBois, Spencer, Crawford, Davies, Martin, Orange, and Perry counties. A Jasper-based company has announced a new hire in its administration. Kimball International Incorporated announced earlier this week that Mike Wagner has been appointed as the company's new Vice President and General Manager for Kimball Office. In his new role, Wagner will take responsibility for the entire Kimball Office organization, which includes support and oversight of strategic direction, goals, and growth objectives. This appointment follows a national search during which several people expressed interest in the position, according to a company news release. Company officials say Wagner's appointment to the job is reflective of the company's desire to strengthen the leadership ranks by adding people with shared values but different views. Wagner has some background in the office furniture business and has more than 13 years of experience and leadership in sales, sales management, marketing, strategic planning, and guiding cultural evolutions for organizations. Wagner most recently served as the Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Huntingburg-based OFS Brands. He also has previously served in international sales management and was in ownership of an independent representative group based out of Chicago. Wagner earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science with a business minor from Indiana State University in 1995. He has continued to develop personally and professionally through many programs and being involved in various professional organizations, according to company officials. Wagner, his wife Jennifer, and their family currently reside in Jasper. Changes in government regulations on coal-fired power plants have taken a toll on the industry and have also impacted a key agreement for local electricity. During Monday night's Jasper Utility Service Board meeting, Utilities General Manager Bud Hauersperger told the board that the Jasper Power Plant, which is the subject of the Jasper Clean Energy Project, is still unable to find anyone to buy the electricity that the plant would produce. Hauersperger says the wholesale price of electricity has dropped significantly due to a decrease in demand for the electricity that came as a result of the economic recession that began back in 2008. Hauersperger says coal just doesn't make any sense for the plant anymore, as the competition is now using renewable energy and making money off of it.
It costs us more to buy the coal than we can sell it for on the market, because we're competing with those big plants where they're producing a lot more energy at a cheaper rate than what we can right now. With the Jasper Clean Energy Center option, which we switch over to a renewable energy, which demands a higher cost, you can get more money for renewable energy than you can for just coal energy, and it's cleaner and more economic, it's better for the environment.
Hauersperger says at this point the plant is still within the EPA's guidelines for emissions. He says they recently received an air permit that is valid through 2018. Also during Monday night's meeting, Hauersperger brought up the possibility of constructing a compressed natural gas filling station that would be utilized by the Jasper Clean Energy Center. Atlanta, Georgia-based Twisted Oak Corporation, who plans to lease the plant and convert it to the Jasper Clean Energy Center, has already informed the city that they would run their vehicles on compressed natural gas. Hauersperger says the city is considering the idea after doing some more research on it.
We thought, well, through that process, we said it would be nice also if we had some compressed natural gas vehicles, because right now with the low price of natural gas, it's cheaper than gas, it's cheaper than diesel. Your vehicles run cleaner, they require less maintenance because it's a cleaner fuel. So it makes a lot of sense. It's just a matter of comparing how much does it cost to convert your vehicles to burn compressed natural gas.
Hauersperger also says it is something that he sees becoming more and more popular, and even something that the general public may start being able to utilize on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So it would be even people with residential cars that want to use compressed natural gas, they could fill up there, or other businesses. You know, we've had contact with some businesses that said, well, yes, if we had compressed natural gas available, we would be willing to convert our vehicles to do that, and they would come in from a commercial standpoint. But then, yeah, just from a residential, small businesses, if they wanted to have a compressed natural gas vehicle, they could come in and fill up there too.
Hauersperger told the board that he has begun contacting companies concerning doing a feasibility study for a compressed natural gas station. Currently, there are only a couple of locations across our area, including in Evansville, Louisville, and in Vincennes. In other news this evening, the battle between Indiana State Superintendent of Public Instruction Glenda Raths and the State Board of Education is now heading to court. Yesterday morning, Raths filed a lawsuit against the State Board of Education, accusing board members of violating the open door law. The suit will be known as Raths v. Elsner and others, and was filed in Marion County Circuit Court. In the lawsuit, Raths alleges that 10 members of the Board of Education violated the open door law when they secretly drafted or authorized the drafting of a letter that was sent to Senate President Pro Tem David Long and House Speaker Brian Bosma. The letter is dated October the 16th, according to the lawsuit. Both Long and Bosma are Republican, while Raths is a Democrat. The lawsuit states further that the letter requests Senator Long and Speaker Bosma to appoint the state's Legislative Services Agency to perform the calculations that will determine A to F grades for Indiana schools for 2012 and 2013. Raths alleges that no public notice was given for a meeting that allowed this action to occur, and she was not made aware of the action until after it was taken, though she serves as the chair of the State Board of Education. The lawsuit calls for preventing the State Board of Education from continuing to violate the open door law, along with declaratory relief. In a statement, Raths says she took an oath to uphold Indiana laws when she was sworn into office, and she was disappointed to find out that other members of the board did not comply with other requirements under the law. She says, though she respects the individual expertise and commitment of members on the board, she feels that the board members went too far in this instance. Raths further stated that she does not take communicating openly with the board or the general public lightly because her obligations as the elected state head of education require it. The grading process as a whole has been delayed by I-step testing interruptions that took place this past spring. Test scores are factored as a primary basis for accountability rankings. Indiana Department of Education officials say they are using in-house counsel to avoid passing additional costs onto the state. Officials with the Du Bois County Treasurer's Office are reminding taxpayers of the upcoming deadline for the second installment. County Treasurer Chad Blessinger says the final day to pay the second installment of their property taxes on time is November the 12th. The Treasurer's Office is open from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and the office will also be open on Saturday, November 9th from 8 till noon, and will stay open until 5 p.m. on November the 12th. Tax statements were originally mailed back in April. However, a second notification is not going to be mailed. Officials say if a taxpayer needs a duplicate statement, they should contact the Treasurer's Office at 481-7080. We conclude this evening with a special presentation concerning this year's second running of the Heartland Half Marathon and 5K Run. This morning at Memorial Hospital and Healthcare Center's Philip R. Dawkins Heart and Vascular Center, officials with DC Multisport presented a check for this year's earnings from the Heartland Half Marathon and 5K. The total amount raised this year, $13,062. DC Multisport President Michael Kern says things went better than expected as far as fundraising is concerned for this year's event. He says a good race course and a date change for next year will allow the event to grow in the future.
We put together a great course. We give away, good swag is what they call it, but basically the shirts, the medals, the things of that nature. And this year we're going to move it to Saturday, which we think will be a big plus because on Sunday people, even though it's a holiday weekend, it's still Sunday for most people, and it's kind of winding down. We feel like doing it Saturday will give them more time to stay in Jasper, do the other things. So hopefully that'll also increase the attendance as well.
Kern says over 700 people entered the event last year, but this year's turnout was down to just over 600 runners. Kern says a number of people last year wanted to run the event as a bucket list achievement rather than run in it yearly, thus the drop-off in attendance. The Philip R. Dawkins Heart and Vascular Center was the recipient of the proceeds from the event for the second year in a row. This event is sponsored by Memorial Hospital, among several others. Coming up after the break, cold weather continuing for the foreseeable future, that ahead in your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform featuring Deborah Steinkamp and Natalie Boland with the Spencer County Medicine Cabinet Cleanout Day. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.